It has been 453 days since now 16-year-old Sebastian Rogers vanished from his home in Hendersonville. His disappearance sparked national headlines, but now his father says the case is losing momentum. With National Missing Children's Day coming up on Sunday, he is raising his voice and demanding urgency. News 2's Caitlin.
I went and talked to neighbors, and every single one of them, every single one, welcomed me. And if they had video surveillance, they gave it to me. The only person that would not talk to me, as the only person that had something to hide and wouldn't talk to me. You know, she has a son that's hiding and waiting for somebody in the dark, late night on the 25th. And there needs to be some explaining for that. I'll just leave it at that.
That we are going to keep searching, we are going to keep looking, we are going to find him, and we are going to bring him home.
Since we first aired the video last month, authorities have said no evidentiary value.
It is of no evidentiary value. It is of no evidentiary value.
Can you tell me what those lights are?
No.
Why?
Because the investigation remains ongoing.
Yeah, I'm working on behalf of Sebastian. I am not, my client is Sebastian, and they're the guardians that have the ability to sign.
It just started. Hi Dad, I know this has been a family, but tomorrow's picture day. So could you send some decent clothes over to me so that I can wear the decent clothes and be handsome for my birthday with all decent clothes? Mom!
Because our heart is missing. He is my world. I need him. I need him back with me.
Listen, like I said, I've got over 100 hours. I'll tell you that. Kristen.
All right, welcome everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Okay, hey, look, my live counter's working. Let me know how I sound in chat. I need to change that intro. Happy Sunday, everybody. Sorry, I'm a little, I got so many things going on. They updated Streamlabs, which is what I use. A lot of people use the other streaming service, but I like Streamlabs, and they did an update, and it has, I had to literally redo everything, and it's stuff that I've worked on for like months, and so it's been a pain in the butt to reset everything. So sounds good. Okay, I'm just checking multiple things. All right, I do have an interesting show. I just want to make sure that looks good. Okay, yeah, just let me know how the stream goes. I sound good. Just let me know if there's any buffering. I hope there's not. Because again, it's a pain in the butt. Because yeah. But all right, just checking chat. Okay, all right, let's get going. I apologize. It's been one hell of a week trying to get this all worked out. Okay, so while we let everybody come in, yeah, this part, you know, as much as I'd love to blame YouTube, this part is on the Streamlabs part of it, so it's actually not YouTube. Although we've had problems with YouTube in the past. Let me just get over to the part. I'm going to edit this out here. Okay. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on how the stream is going, because I can see like the strength of it. And I'm just making sure. If you can, please hit that like button. So the main meat and potatoes of today's video will be the Texas Roadhouse footage. I have discovered something that could be possibly interesting. I don't know if anybody's caught this before. I certainly haven't seen any videos on it. I do want to, while we wait for people to come in, I did do some more research on the vehicles that we see at February 26th, just before 3 a.m., and then a vehicle that we see on the 27th, which looks like identical. that's seen at 3:15. And they both do. I think the last live I did on Sebastian Rogers, we showed, which I'll show here. And again, we'll get into the meat and potatoes with Texas Roadhouse, but while we let people come in, I just wanted to touch on this because I have been working multiple angles. And anyway, I've been trying to look at the AI and stuff. So when looking at these two vehicles, because when we originally were looking at this, the cars kind of look, I mean, they look pretty much identical except for one had a light under the main headlight. And, you know, wasn't quite sure if it was the same car. And when I first ran it through AI, it was kind of telling me it was two different cars. But since that time, and I'm trying to get to it here, I have learned that with more screenshots and trying to, I mean, I can't really enhance the video much more just because there's not, you know, when you start zooming in the pixels, even if you do an AI enhancement, it's not going to, you know, it may clear some things up, but when you run it through AI enhancement, it tends to kind of do this smear thing, especially when things are more towards the, you know, further away. It just kind of blends colors together. Oh, there is 2 lives going on? What? Has that ended? Oh no. Has that can anybody tell me, is that live still going? How do I have 2 lives going? Or is there just people in the chat and that live ended? Sorry guys. That's what, oh, it ended. Okay, thank you. All right, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, that's, again, like I said, they did a massive update, so everything's different on Streamlabs, so I do apologize. It's something that I mean, Streamlabs has literally kept everything the same for, I started 3-4 years ago, and just all of a sudden in the last, like, 3 months, they just update, and then they had, like, a massive update. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to compete with the other streaming services where because the nice thing with Streamlabs is you don't have to have like a subscription. They now do have a subscription where they have like all these fancy, you know, borders, backgrounds, everything. And so I think they're trying to compete. But anyway, all right. So, okay, I'm glad that ended. So if anybody's in that chat, I don't know if you have like 2 devices. If anybody can tell those to get out of there, I'm not doing a Idaho 4 live. I apologize. Anyway, all right. So real quick, and then we'll get into the Texas Roadhouse. I apologize. This sucks when you've used something for so long and then they just do an update and changes everything. So here, I just want to touch on the 26th, you have the car up here. And on the 27th, you have the car here. This is where it goes up Kellen. Both cars go up Kellen. And then they take a left on Devon Court. And so keep in mind, up here on this screen is the 26th. So that's the night he went missing, just before 3 a.m. The video itself. And then the 27th, which is at 3:15 a.m. And they both do the same thing. They literally turn. They do kind of like a 3-point turn. But they kind of go up the road a little bit, weird, you know. It's still like this one on the 27th, you can actually see the brake light where it completely stops and then backs up. This one, the tail light kind of goes hidden behind the landscape, but you can literally see the shadow. So they both do the same exact thing. So, I mean, what would that tell you? If we believed it was 2 different cars, but yet what are the odds the person does, or you have 2 different drivers do the exact same thing on the 26th and the 27th? Literally the same exact 3-point turn. You know, you have enough room to do like a U-turn because it's a 4-way stop up there. So what are the odds that you have both cars do the exact same 3-point turn? So clearly, I think that would suggest it's the same driver. And with that, I did more research on it, and I know we've kind of discussed this before, but I am now certain it is the same car. Let me check chat, make sure everything's going good. Thank you, Sean, or Michelle. Sebastian's voice is just so sweet. This is the second time I've heard it, and it still gives me chills. Keep up the good work and stay on them. Thank you so much, Michelle. I know, hearing that voicemails, it breaks my heart every time. Yeah, good to see you, Geneva. Thank you so much. 34 months supporting this channel. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chicky. I appreciate that. We got 500 people in here. If you can, hit that like button. So real quick, we are going to get to Texas Roadhouse. But I just wanted to, because this was something in our last live that we kind of focused on. And so anyway, I did something that I'm going to show you guys here. Let's see here. Okay, we're going to skip past this. Okay, here we go. And we'll talk about the car here in a second. Okay, this is, yeah, perfect. Perfect spot. All right. Stream is clear and great sound. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate that. All right. So one thing, are they both the same vehicle? So here, what you're seeing, and you're going to notice I've got two videos. The one on the top, well, they're going to be combined, with one having the opacity halfway, so we can see the two videos, the 26th and the 27th overlaid. And I just wanted to show you guys what I was able to do. So as you can see, I'm starting to combine this video up with the 26th and 27th, and I'm lining up the cars as best I can. One of the cars on the 26th starts out slow and then starts to speed up, and so they're not driving the same speed exactly, but I was able to kind of like manipulate it to where they're basically lined up. So as you can see here, I go to combine them. Because remember, the only difference is you have that little headlight, which actually is a fog light on the 27th. But here is both videos combined together. And you'll notice how this vehicle and this vehicle, notice how they're kind of look like they're not fully all the way there. That's because, on the 26th, this vehicle was out in the driveway or out in the street, but on the 27th, it's not there. And then vice versa with the white, it's a Chevy Tahoe or something like that. But this white SUV here, vice versa, wasn't there on the 27th, but it was there on the 20. Wasn't there on the 26th, but was there on the 27th. So here you can see where I line them up, and then you'll notice this is me without it, just playing them both together, start to finish, without manipulating them. You'll see how they go and almost literally combined into each other. And now that is both of the cars. As you can see, the lights are exactly the same once they combine into each other. And then, so I thought, well, if I do that, I'm going to just do it from start to end. And I had to kind of manipulate it because, again, the 26 car starts out a little bit slower and then kind of speeds up to where the 27th would be at. So here I manipulate it. And so here's both cars kind of overlaid together. And just look how well they fit into each other. That is both the cars, as you can see, because you can barely see the black SUV and the white SUV is both transparent. That is both the 26th and 27th overlaid into each other. And as you can see, it is literally, they just mirror each other. The only difference, obviously, is that one car, one day it had its floodlights on the bottom, and clearly the 27th, 26th it did not, and the 27th it did. But one more time, both cars are overlaid together, as you can see. So that it's the same car. I know I know a lot of us were talking about it's likely. I mean, the fact that the driver, what are the odds you have the driver both at 3 a.m., 26, 27, and do the same exact 3-point turn where you could just do a U-turn like KK, or you could have done what the black SUV does on the 28th, where it goes all the way down Devon, because there is a little circle at the end of Devon. But so, yeah, that is definitely. So the only difference, and the reason why I thought it was a different car in the beginning is because, the 26th, it didn't have the fog light on, whereas the 27th, you can see, and that's when it's not kind of fully combined. But so that's interesting. That's another, something we could debate as well, is why does a vehicle have its fog lights on the 27th, but on the 26th, it did not? But yeah, one more time with them combined together, and then we'll get into Texas Roadhouse. But pretty interesting. So definitely same car, in my opinion. Now I'm still, I don't want to say a Honda Accord 100%. I mean, that's what the AI gives me as the closest thing to what it believes that vehicle is. There's also a Toyota Camry that's really close. But now knowing, as you can see, you can even see, it almost looks like the 27th car turns off its fog headlights, but it's kind of tough to say because it is kind of going out of frame. But yeah, so anyway, there's that. And then just one more time, without them on top of each other. Yeah. And here's split screen. So just one more time, just to show you guys the difference. All right, here we go. So again, so that's the 26th, and that he went missing. Again, the only thing that made me think this might have been two cars is, you can see this one had one headlight, where this one has what I now know is the fog light on. It's interesting. But yeah, that's the only difference. Be interesting to know why it's got his fog light on the 27th, but not on the 26th when he went missing. The trolls are here. Yes, I'm reviewing surveillance video, right? Because obviously, surveillance doesn't lie, right? People do. That's why I'm fixated on surveillance, because surveillance doesn't lie. Anyway, thank you, Connie, so much for the $10 super sticker. I appreciate your support. I'm sure the trolls will love that. So again, Toyota Camry. This is not the right model. I just pulled up a random model. But obviously, I believe the Toyota Camry has a particular model close to that. But the Honda Accord is the best fit, which I'll show here in just a second. Obviously, the picture I pulled as well is not the right model. Actually, it might actually be. I could be wrong. It does have the daytime running lights. The one thing that AI always mentions, because again, you can make the AI, again, you can ask AI a bunch of stuff, and I'll be, straightforward. You can manipulate the AI in a way, not always, but you can kind of suggest things to AI, and it'll kind of lean towards that if you're, if you're not giving it enough information, or if you're trying to be biased and you're trying to feed it certain information. So I'm always trying to redo conversations with the AI to see if I get the same results or different. The one thing that's always been consistent is it says it has dual headlights. And if you don't know what dual headlights, it's where, at least from what I understand, keep in mind I'm not a car guy, But the dual headlights, the Honda Accord and probably other cars, have two different headlights, and one is on kind of like the outside, like the trim part of the headlight, and that's where the daytime lights are located. They're like located on the trim of the headlight, and then you have your high beam lights, obviously in the main part of it. But that is one thing that's always picked up is LED lights and dual headlights. This has always popped up. So, oh yeah, it would be interesting if they are scared. Then maybe I'm on the right track with the Texas Roadhouse. I'll be, straightforward with you guys. From what I heard, again, allegedly, fish sticks and a certain somebody apparently made a scene and weren't happy that, a certain other team went and got surveillance from the Texas Roadhouse, which again, why wouldn't you want that out there? Because again, you don't know how he went missing, even though for the first year you're basically claiming he ran away, but then finally you kind of caught on like, hey, it's a little weird that you're so, on this mission to tell everybody that he, walked off without his shoes, with no scent. You got cameras at every other house, 2 cameras that are pointing in the front and the back, yet nothing. So yeah, why wouldn't you want that footage out there? Maybe a stranger was following you guys home, right? But anyway, yeah, they were not happy, which again, a little weird. All right, we almost got 700 people in here. Thank you guys so much. If you can, please hit the like button, and let's continue. Oh, sorry, Siggy. I don't know why Nightbot is doing that. Sometimes if you put in emojis, Nightbot does that. Stupid. Might have to look at Nightbot, guys. That's the last thing I need. Yeah, I agree. All right. Okay, so let's get on with it. Texas Roadhouse footage. All right, I'm just keeping an eye on chat and my stream. Again, looks like everything's going smooth, so that's good. Still have to play around with the settings. All right. I'm looking into this. So one thing, the reason I'm showing this is, so she takes a picture of Sebastian, and yeah, we'll get into that part here in a minute. So they leave. Now knowing that there's, in my opinion, likely some kind of corruption. A lot of the locals feel like there's corruption. And I've said it time and time again, I hate using corruption. I feel like it's easy excuse, but I do think in this case, I'm just baffled at the little information that I think I know. I think even though, they'd still need to find Sebastian, I think there's still enough there to charge certain individuals with, at the very least, child neglect and or stuff similar. But anyway, so here's the green hoodie who allegedly was cleared in December. Nearly a year later, which, if true, it is dumbfounds me to think that would be true. They never thought this individual was shady because they're standing by Katie's car literally a minute before they come out. Super strange. And then just sits there between her car and the car next to him. Now, I know everybody's broken down the possible exchange and stuff. I'm not going to get too much into it. I really want to focus on a certain part of it. Yeah, I'm sorry, Ziggy and Mike. It's weird like that. Sometimes I think it... Yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on it. I think sometimes it thinks considers people are spamming emojis. It's weird. So anyway, we've talked about how just ridiculous, because if they did clear this green hoodie person in December, that scares the shit out of me, because that tells me they're not actually investigating the damn case. Or they knew from the beginning, but they just wanted people to know that, hey, we looked into this person, because I guarantee you they were getting... everybody was calling in when these videos first got released. So anyway, now knowing that, these people are, certain entities are probably maybe not... Sorry, I'm trying to fix this. Are purposely not pursuing this case for whatever reason. I do think Green Hoodie is still a person of interest, in my opinion. Has to be a video from the other side. I'm sure there's got to be more cameras. That's a good question. All right, so I'm sure if you followed this case, we kind of know there's some weird exchange. Again, it's weird because if this person was just going to use the bathroom, why did they stop for over a minute between these two cars, right? And what is the odds that this person shows up literally a minute before Katie and Sebastian come out? And then again, if Katie didn't know this person, why she did not hesitate to walk right towards this person? I know she knows MMA and can handle herself, but still, it's weird, because you would think if you came out, and I know we may probably have debates, if you came out and saw somebody between the two cars, or one's yours, you're probably thinking, oh, they're coming to walk through, so you would stop and wait. But she just goes as if she knows this person. Anyway, quick exchange. Can't really see what's going on. Allegedly, possibly a handoff. Clearly, it gets the attention of these people. Okay, sorry, I was just reading chat. So again, there's, it's weird. It looks like this lady, she has her hand out. Looks like she waves forward almost like as Katie come back. It's interesting. I know at night originally I'd claimed that, it looks like there's kind of a trade-off. I certainly think it's possible. No, Jane, I disagree. She is actually probably one of the smartest people. But that just because you're smart doesn't mean you're not a good person. So anyway, let's get on with it. Yes, Sasha. Okay, so let's get into what I found. I don't think anybody's, again, I don't know if anybody's pointed this out. So again, I feel like there was some kind of exchange, right? What are the odds the night that Sebastian goes missing, you have some weird exchange, some person, again, it's in an area, it's not a person asking for money, right? Because this person could have went and asked. There's like multiple people that came out before Katie and Sebastian. If this person was asking for money, could have clearly asked a bunch of people. Well, not a bunch, but multiple people before them. Anyway, all right. So now they get in the car. This is where, and I'll show it in different intervals here, because again, I know some people may be watching on maybe your cell phone, so it may be a little bit harder to see, but I will zoom in as well. So they get in the car. She's going to put her seatbelt on. And she's going to reach down, and we'll kind of break this down even further, but she's going to reach down, and then she's going to do something. You guys see the action? She just did it. So I'll play it again, and then I'll kind of highlight it. But you guys caught that. Let me get this. This will be a good example. So here's it zoomed in. Oops, I made it go back that far. Though it does go quick. So right here, puts the seatbelt on. Reaches down with the right hand. And we'll talk about the seatbelt here. But right here, 3, 2, 1. Right there. Do you see it? Chris, I'm going to tag you in my videos. Yeah, no problem, Kiki. But you guys see what she's doing? You can see she's turning her head and everything. It is, I am 99% guaranteed. We've all seen people put earbuds, Bluetooth. It is literally that. She is literally putting an earpiece in her ear. I mean, you can see her nose when she does it, when she turns left. I'll back it up there for you guys. I'll have the big one zoomed in. But there's other things, too, that I want to point out. But, yeah, that's the big one. There's also something you can tell because of the seatbelt that she's rummaging for something that I think's in her hoodie. We'll come back to that here in a minute. But one more time, and I'll have the big one. But as you can see, it's clear as day. You can see her nose for a minute. And then she actually puts her left hand. So right there, earpiece in. You can see her nose. And then she kind of puts up her left hand, and it causes the pixels to get all kind of screwed up. So you can see her right hand here, the nose. Then she puts her left hand up, and it causes it to like get really pixelated. But there, it's clear as day. She's putting in a headpiece. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Again, she just had an interaction with somebody. She's clearly putting in a headpiece. I mean, there maybe an earring. Again, usually I think you'd use the mirror or something. But again, the fact that you're turning your head, because I guess if you're putting an earring, and there's also something else before that you could tell that she's actually going to grab. But yeah, who wears the earpiece, right? Now there's more to this. So keep in mind, this drive's only, now it says 13 minutes. Oops, right? Because allegedly they just go from Texas Roadhouse straight home. There we go. Yeah. Just connect to a different phone. Yep. I love it. Everybody's getting it. Yep. This is my theory right now. Again, some theories, have to work on what we can't see. But I'm 99% sure that's an earbud. I think she is getting handed a burner phone here. And I think they do this because clearly they do a quick exchange where they pass by each other. I think she probably shoves a phone. Again, if this theory, the theory would be she hands her a burner phone. Now, they both have hoodies with pockets, right? And how easy it would it be to just shove your phone or shove a phone in her hoodie pocket? And I'll show you what I'm talking about. As you just brush them by each other, you just shove it in. I think she got a burner phone right there. In my opinion. And if you're missing it, I'll play it one more time. But I think there's more to this that actually could kind of show that she's reaching for that object that she could have been handed. Oh, thanks, Sassy. I appreciate everybody in here. We almost got 1,000 people in here. I really appreciate that. I can't tell you how much footage I've looked at. I've told you guys hundreds, and hundreds of hours of looking at the same footage over and over and over and over and over again. And it's funny how there's stuff that it's there. You just, I don't know, you got to like take a break and look at something else. But you know, it's there. You just, you know, sometimes it's, you're looking for one thing and you get narrow sighted. And then all of a sudden when you're kind of, and I'll explain how I got to the earpiece, how I caught this. It's because I was looking for something else. And then I'm like, oh shit, how did I miss that? I mean, that's clear as day. She's getting an earpiece. So anyway, I think that's the handoff. Okay, so let me show you this. Oh, thank you guys. I wish I could chat everybody out, but when we get like 1,000 people in here, it's really hard. I just do want to shout out real quick before I show this next part here. Deb, thank you for becoming a member and supporting this channel. That really helps us. Especially, yeah, working on these videos. I do spend hours before I go live because I always like to have everything preset for you guys. So at the very least, if you guys just hit that like button to help support this channel, I appreciate it. So I want to show you where her phone's at. So when she gets up, we can see her phone, her iPhone, is in her right pocket. Now look how high her hoodie pockets are. So again, be really easy to slip a phone, burner phone, into those hoodie pockets, right? Because they're high up. But look at where her phone's at. And I'll zoom in for those that can't see. It's in her right pocket. So as we swing around, and we can see something shiny. That is her iPhone sticking partially out of her right pocket. Right there, we can see that. Do we all agree? Unless anybody can think of something else. There's nothing else on the left side, so it's not like a design or anything. I am 99% sure that's her phone. Because when she's done with her phone, you do see it. I thought she put it in her right. Because when I saw her, I don't know if I have the footage of that. I may not have focused on that. But before they get up, after she's done taking the picture and messaging whoever, you see her take the phone. And I thought she put her phone in her right hoodie pocket, but it looks like she put it down here in her right pants pocket. So as you can see, that's clearly, in my opinion, her phone. We can see it just for a second. It's going to shine as well here. Right there, we can kind of see it. Again, it's just for a brief second. We can see it kind of. Oh, yeah, I didn't even look to earrings. I didn't. Does she even have earrings? That's a great. I didn't even look. Sorry, guys. Oh, yeah, she's not wearing earrings. I mean, unless she's got those little, like, plugs or whatever. That's what I call them, plugs. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, she doesn't have any big earrings, but anyway. I mean, come on. I think if somebody's going to put in an earring, I think you'd be looking in the rearview mirror, and you wouldn't be turning your head. I mean, it's such a... Yeah. Anyway, so... There's a reason why I point this out. I guess kind of depends on the pants and stuff like that. I know I hate trying to get my phone in when it's in my pocket, especially when I'm in the car. It's just such a pain in the ass. So here, she's putting on the seatbelt again. If you missed it, we'll look at the motion again. But there's something she does here. Now remember, this is after the interaction with the green hoodie. So here, she's doing it. But we're going to focus on what she did just before this. And again, she pulls up her left hand. That's why the pixels all get all kind of crazy there. But so here she puts on the seatbelt. Now, right there, notice it is locked in right there. That is, look how straight it is. It is now locked in right there. So seatbelt's on, right? This looks planned out. Yeah, again, Working theory, again, it can't like distinctly prove that the green hoodie is involved, right? Until there's more, but clearly the interaction, come on, what are the odds, right? So we have the seatbelt that is clearly now locked in. Now keep an eye on the seatbelt. Watch how it kind of folds up, and she is now going to reach down with her right hand. Again, theorizing if she was handed a burner phone. Notice how it folds in. She is now rummaging again. Now you could say she's just going for her right pocket. And again, I always try to look at both sides, right? She could have been just trying to get into her right pants pocket. She's clearly grabbing the phone. I can actually see the phone right here. I didn't even realize that. I paused this at a weird time. That is interesting. Actually does look like a phone right there. Let's save this. Let's just save this right at the top. Let's look at this real quick. I missed this before. Let's see if that is the phone. So you can see her right hand. Now remember, this is just after she just got done rummaging. Again, that looks about like the right size of a phone. Let's leave that up, and let's play this back. I didn't even realize that we could even see the phone. This is actually now opening up new territories here. Let me put that to the side for a second. Okay, let me leave that up. So she puts the earpiece in. Oh, actually, no, because that white thing is there. No, never mind. Okay, I'm glad I looked at that. Nope, that's not the phone. That's just the dash. I'm sorry. Man, I paused that at the right at the right moment. No, that is because it's this thing right here. So no, because she had her hand right here, so it did look like it was the phone. Anyway, but besides the point. One more time. Seatbelt is now on, and as you can see, it bends in. She's reaching. Now something is out. She goes down the console area, and then earpiece goes in. Now, when people, especially with her, she has a QX. Is it Q60 or QX? Q60 Infinity. I think it's before 2022. Somewhere it's a second generation Infinity. Somewhere between 2016 and 2018, I believe. If someone knows the exact year, let me know in chat. I want to say it's like a 2018. But I would think, even my 2012 Toyota RAV4, and I'm sure even earlier, has a Bluetooth, right? So we don't need to be using headphones, right? So what do you guys think? And there's more to this. Yeah, a lot of, Willie, a lot of pants, a lot of designers have been making pants. I mean, it's been for a while. But, yeah, that is nice to have a separate pocket for your cell phone. Studs. Oh, yeah, studs. Thank you, Sharon. Let me just quickly catch up on chat. So there's more to this, but if you're coming in and you missed it, let me do the zoomed in if you're... But I do wonder, again, you could say she was reaching for something in her pocket, or you could say in her pants pocket, or she was reaching in with whatever this lady gave her, or person. Sorry, I'm just trying to get into the zoom part one more time. And then we got more. I was trying to find that spot where yeah, okay, this is it. So just in case if you missed it earlier, again, I'll have it zoomed in, but she's going to reach down, and then we'll get into the next part. Lakeside, good to see you. God bless. Happy to be a member. I appreciate the support. Thank you for the 6 months. You got the 6 now. That's awesome. So there it is. If you missed it, you can see her, and you can see the nose too. It is just so... I mean, we've all probably seen somebody put earbuds in their ear. And again, that's even her nose right there. She's turning her head. And then she puts up her left hand that causes it to go kind of freak out. Texas Roadhouse can get info from phones even if not connected to Wi-Fi. Ooh. Yeah, because, there's geofencing. That's now, if you're using a burner phone, it depends, I guess, on the burner phone, right? Is it set up? I mean, it would be set up, I would think, right? Bad service. Although I'm not like a cell phone technician. Interesting, though. Yeah, it would be, because, they would have Wi-Fi, right? Little Miss Sharon, thank you so much for the $2. And thank you, Kiki, I'm sorry, for the $4.99. God bless. Lakeside, thank you so much for the $4.99. And Margaret, thank you so much, sweetheart, for the $1.99. Little Miss Sharon, thank you so much for the membership for 4 months. God bless. Okay. So again, what do you guys think? We're going to move on to the next thing, but who would she be talking to? And, that's the other thing is she never mentioned, speaking to anybody while coming back. And again, I would think that car would definitely be equipped with Bluetooth. So here is my part of more. Well, I got more. Well, I've got 2 other sections here, but one possibility why I think she'd be using that. So again, I do think it's possible that she could have been handed a burner phone. She definitely put an earbud in, which is weird. Not that burner phone page item in her pants pocket inside too. Touch it. Yes, Tamara. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Margaret says, you're asked about the last live audio. Oh, the audio from... Yeah, we did do that. If I think you're talking about the surveillance footage, we did do that. But I'll explore that again in the future. Yes. And not only that, all right, so everybody's on the right track, but there's a reason why I even caught this in the first place is because I was looking for something else. Okay, so moving on. So let me take a sip here. What I was trying to zoom in and caught while I was doing this is there's something else in this car. So if you notice, and you're going to see here, I guess I should start mentioning, I forgot I don't have the box up. So the other thing that's in the car is the dash cam. And you can actually see it really well. Not like super well. You notice right here, and I think I zoom in a little bit more. But for those that are on, something other than your phone, I mean, you might be able to see it. But you'll notice it almost looks like there's like, when you're blurring somebody's face, there's like a little bar. There's a little black bar. It's right here. That is the dash cam. Notice the sticker, the handicap sticker, and the rear view mirror is just above that. So clearly this dash camera, and that would make sense that it's not in front of the driver's window, side. It's on the more towards where Sebastian's at. So let me just play that. But if you keep your eye here, you can see this black bar. and then the rear view mirror is over here. So this is the dash cam. So clearly it's more on his side, clearly, since it's right. But that is the dash cam. And it just, it's got a little sticky thing, and it's stick, and you can like bend it. But that's where it's at. So it's kind of more on the passenger side, clearly. But I wanted to point that out. But that is a dash cam. And that's got audio. So what we know, because obviously the camera is only pointed outward. It's only, and these cameras, there's a couple of different settings. There's older ones where you'd have to, I think you have to hit record, every time if you want to record. But now, and that was a while back, now they have ones, which I'm sure this one is, where the second you turn on the car, it records. I'm sure there's other, again, I've never had one. I'm sure somebody in the chat probably knows better than I. But yeah, there's different versions. But typically the common one is when you start driving, or I think you kick on the car, it kicks on, because obviously the power source is the car. But there are ones that can record because it's connected to the power source anyway, that can just record 24/7. But anyway, it has audio. It's pointed out. So obviously the last known sighting, other than what we see here of Sebastian, according to multiple sources, would be just the audio from this camera. Because they can't even confirm the person pulling out the trash can is Sebastian, so keep that in mind. So the only other known sighting or audio of Sebastian that night is when they drive back. Allegedly, there must be some kind of conversation. So I do wonder if that was also, not only did she do that earbud, but the reason why she did that is because this would be recording. So obviously, I'm sure that, if you were having a conversation with maybe a third party about something, maybe, or if you were just fed information, then you're not really doing any talking, you're just listening. And then obviously no one would be the wiser because the camera is obviously pointed outwards while it's just recording audio inside the car. Again, just my theory on that. But we got more. But let me know what you guys think in chat about that. But that is also another reason I think maybe she would use that earpiece. That way, because you have something audio recording, you may not want, if there was a conversation going on while they were driving back home, they wouldn't be able to know who she was talking to, and it could just be a short conversation, or she could just be listening to maybe instructions, again, a lot of different things. Here, thank you, True. So I have a dash cam and it automatically starts recording. Yeah, I think that's the most common one, is it records when you start driving. And then I know there's ones that they call parking mode, which I guess it'll record, even when the car's not that way. If you're out somewhere, and someone crashes into you while your car's parked, if you have cameras in the front and back, you catch it. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. I want to read chat, but there's more, because there's another argument to this. This is where I was really trying to go, but then the earbud was like, well, holy shit, why is she putting an earbud in? It's not unheard of, but just seems kind of weird. With a car that's clearly got to have Bluetooth. We know these people have nice, they're not poor. So I would think they would have a hands-free headset, Bluetooth, setup in that car. I'm sure that car has, all the upgrades. Again, I don't know 100%, but I would think it would. Oh, yeah. Oh, on car cam, taking out the trash but not confirmed. Yeah, because unless the car was in the street still, but then that would be like a straight on. Yeah, I think you, Kiki, is said Sebastian on car cam taking out trash but not confirmed. Did she say that somewhere, Kiki? I'd like to know. Right, Brenda, I agree with what you're saying. So we definitely have some people that know. Your phone will transmit the MAC address and the SSID and the Wi-Fi access point. Red flag. Thank you, Karen Paris. Now, it doesn't even have to be a Bluetooth earbud, right? It could be. Oh, where's my? Oh, here it is. Remember, it could be a wired one as well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a Bluetooth. She could have a wired, which would even make more sense for a older burner phone. Again, I don't know what models are out there, but I'm sure. Oh, is it 2017? Thank you, Marie. Yeah, I knew it's somewhere around in there. I'm assuming it's got all the works, right? Oh. Do we see them park? Oh my god, cutie pie. That's an awesome quote. Oh my god. Cutie pie, that's amazing. Okay, if we get time, maybe we can look into that. Dang, that's a great question. Great catch, Cutie Pie. Faye, thank you so much for the $4.99. God bless you. And Dee and Jennifer, thank you so much, ladies, coming in and helping us. God, look at Karen. Karen definitely knows her stuff. Man, I'd like to pick your brain on, burner phones and what, because we know, one person that used burner phones clearly got away with, a lot, got away with a lot for a long time was Rex Schuerman, the Go Beach serial killer. So, not unheard of. Now, I think it's got to be older, Karen, or newer. Because the generation, when I looked it up, because it went off the grill, it said between 2016 and 2000. Oh, I'd have to look at it. I think it was 2014 to 2018, somewhere around in there, or even up to the 2020s. I'd have to go look at it again. I did look at it. Thank you, Angel of Light, for the $10. That's a good question, Lakeside. But then that would be just as nefarious, right? If you took it down. But here's the question, though. But that's I guess you could go both ways on that, Lakeside, right? Because if there's dash cam, throughout the day or even the day prior, and then the day before he goes missing, the dash cam is not on, not recording, unless you wanted to make sure that you wanted to prove that he made it home, which I really think that's part of it. All right, so here's the other thing. Oh, Alicia, yeah, you have to go back a little earlier. Let's see, what'd you say? Right, Janice, yeah, earbud. She put bugs, but that was probably autocorrect in the phone. Earbuds, right. And again, it doesn't have to be a Bluetooth. It could be just a wired like this. And now for anybody that's just wondering, like, well, again, what am I missing? Obviously, you have a conversation with somebody. The person in the vehicle would not be able to hear that, and the dash cam that is recording audio inside the car would clearly not be able to hear who she's speaking with. And she could just even be receiving instructions, right? She could just be getting called. She just answers it, and she's just hearing whoever. It could be just going, Again, multiple ways you could think about it, but yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure those probably come with apps, right? Because that makes sense. Me and you. Thank you for sharing that. I think most devices kind of like that, like those. You have the GoPros. They have the same thing. Well, I don't have a GoPro, but I have the like the knockoff brand, and it has its own app, and yeah, you can use the app to start recording and all that. Everything's hooked up to everything now, of course. Man, Cutie Pie, what a great question.
Truth out there.
Okay, so, all right, let me play this once, and then we're gonna listen to KK. But here's the other thing, right? So we have that whole thing, right? So that's interesting. I mean, again, I'm 99% sure that's a head, some earbud being put in. Again, why? Is that normal? Can they go back on the dash cam? How far back does her dash cam video go? Is it common for her to have an earbud in and talking, right? And I think you would know that because, you'd just be hearing her talking, having a conversation, but it'd just be one-sided, right? Because, even though the dash cam points towards the street, the audio is recording, and you'd just be hear Katie, going, yes, oh, what'd you do? And then, be like she's talking to herself. So it'd be interesting. Is that common for her to do that? Here's the other question, and something I have not heard of and anybody's spoken about. Did she have her dash cam on the morning he went missing? I'm watching from the other side too. I guess that depends, Janice, because obviously it's just pointing, wherever the car is facing, right? And then once it gets home, it's now in the driveway. It's in the garage, in the garage. So, Cutie Pie, genius idea. I'm sure there's more other people have said other things. I'm sorry, and it's tough when you have nearly 1,000 people in here. But what do you guys think? I have not heard anything about the dash cam running that morning. Not to say it didn't, but here is the reason why I bring this up. There's a couple reasons. So, while we watch the video of Mother of the Year looking for a child, again, we've all talked about how people with pets, when they've lost their pet, show more emotion and what's the right word? Call to action when their loved one is missing, right? Animal, child, what have you. But here is, while I'm playing this, and while you guys are pondering, I'm going to read the chat. Here's the audio from the Elevated Truth podcast where Crispy gets excited because people are talking about worshams. And if you don't know worshams, we'll explain that in a minute. But here's what I wanted to play this because I thought this was interesting. Just don't want it to be too loud. Yeah, I have not heard anything about that. And that would be interesting. That'd be big. If that was not working or not on, huge red flag.
Truth out there yesterday or the other day said some stuff about Katie.
Like what?
So this is the reason I played this clip, because I find this very interesting, because we know, Crispy doesn't like him, when you're talking about his truck that's got Wi-Fi connected to stuff, right? Don't be talking about his truck and Wi-Fi. Don't talk about Worshams. And if you don't know what Worshams is, I'll pull it up here in a minute. It's on the way to the school, because remember, she goes straight to the school, which again, let me know in the chat. Again, I got to catch up, but we've asked this before, but if you first thing your child is going missing or animal, right? Are you going to go strictly to the school, or are you going to first check the immediate vicinity, right? Like, when you check, again, it's not a big neighborhood. Wouldn't you check the main street, right? Go up Kellen first, and then maybe expand out. But this is the thing: is he says, "Well, I'll."
Chris, open that can. I don't have the exact quote on me. Okay. Well, if you're going to accuse me on my panel, be willing to back it up. I am willing to back it up. If I had the exact quote, I would give it to you. What was it about? In regards to whether or not Katie was there, or her going to the school looking for Sebastian. You mean my question of why did Katie go to the school? Is it because Sebastian had maybe missed the bus and had walked there at some point? You're upset about that? The way it was projected made it sound like you're questioning why did she even go to the school in the first place? That's exactly what I was asking. Why? Because she's a mother who has a son that goes to that school. Right. Why wouldn't you?
And it's a great question. Now listen to what he says. Remember, school doesn't start until 8 a.m. A lot of people start getting to school. I think so if I recall, and I think there's probably maybe some people from there in chat, but I'm pretty sure. So I think you have, I know there's middle school and high school, and I think one starts at 7:50 or 7:45, and then the other one starts at 8 a.m., one of the two. So remember, it's 6:30, right? Now, yes, the bus does come around 6:30. But the reason why they're there so early is because, again, they got to pick up other students, and there's this huge line. So there's just this big wait.
Go to the school and look for your kid.
I would have done that.
Why?
I would have gone there too. I would have done the same.
My question was my question was there a history of Sebastian walking to school, which is why she first thought, let me go to the school. Now, if you took that as me being disrespectful, that wasn't what it was. It was, why was her first thought, go to the school? It's a simple question. Right. And it's a simple, logical answer to think about, too. Okay. It is a Monday morning. He was supposed to be at school. So, just like any other parent out there.
Not at 6 a.m. in the morning. I mean, yeah, they're going to get ready to go to school, but... And then how do you miss that he only has 3 pairs of shoes, guys? I came up poor, and I probably had more than 3 pairs of shoes. Actually, maybe I probably had... I probably had 4. Well, I started growing, so then I don't know. At one point, I did have quite a few pairs of shoes. But again, he only has 3 pairs of shoes. How does the mother not notice that before she goes out, looks for him? And it's the first thing that Seth notices when he walks in. Only 3 pairs of shoes, guys.
You have children. They're going to do the exact same thing. I mean, if my child was missing, I would be out screaming from the rooftops for him. And you're saying that she's not? I'm absolutely saying she is not out screaming from the rooftops for her child. What you don't know happens behind closed doors. That's not screaming from the rooftops. Wait a minute. No one can hear her.
Yeah.
The problem is every time that somebody comes out and does something or says something, it gets twisted and turned in such a negative light. It doesn't matter who it is. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter.
It's true, 100%.
I don't disagree with you on that. But when so once again, you're out here saying this. Hold on. No, I'm out here saying this because I've said that. Hold on. I've said this to you and Katie personally, have I not? You have, Truth. Okay, you don't understand. If you're not here in this situation, you're not seeing the whole picture. Hold on.
Yeah.
Now, when I had that conversation with you, was it 1 conversation, 10 conversations?
Later, we went to the bowling alley, a local bowling alley.
Chris, the videos that have the metadata and frame by frame that should contain the time frame, timestamp, do they have other videos from other cameras that they can compare to her videos? Oh, so you're asking if they have other besides the 2? I think there is other cameras if you're talking about Texas Roadhouse, but I don't know what all they got exactly. But that's a great question. is a great question. But yeah, very interesting, that, Christy's freaking out about the Worshams. Anyway, if you're wondering about the Worshams, I'll just give you a rundown. And again, and he's making a great, argument as why in the hell did she go straight to the school before. Again, this is the neighborhood. You've got two main streets. This is the main street, right? You're at a dead end. Why wouldn't you go up Killen, to check, right? And why is your window not down and you're not screaming bloody murder like most normal people would, right? But the school is literally right here. As you can see, it's just a 3-minute drive away, but she would have came in this way. And so there's a theory. There's some speculation, again, just speculation, but so there's like the high school, middle school. So the middle school, I think this is the high school again. It's all kind of connected here. And it gets super busy, like just before 7 a.m., like everybody's starting to arrive. So that's, again, school, if I recall, school doesn't start until like close to 8 a.m., but they, start getting there almost an hour early because it's like you just have this one road and it gets all jam packed up. So anyway, Worshams is right here. Oops. And there's a theory that Mama Stinkfeet was seen near Worshams, and maybe there was some kind of, exchange or something. But it would be interesting. The main reason I even started to do this video was looking at that dash cam because I wanted to show you guys where that dash cam was at. And then, of course, that's when I noticed the earbuds. But so the other question is she clearly had the dash cam, and unfortunately I can't see it, with just the footage that I have of that morning, the angle and everything. And when she's coming back, it's just, I don't
sound like you're questioning why did
I don't think I'd be able to see it from this angle. Just, with her car being so far away. But just weird. Be interesting to know, was this whole thing on dash cam? And if it wasn't, why wasn't it? Why would her dash cam now be off? Right? Because you would think any normal person, we'd be hearing her screaming, Sebastian, Sebastian. Or the other thing, and I completely forgot, here's the other thing, is I know part of the three-way conversation that happened, started around 6:05 a.m., but by 6:20, or 6:21, she's in the car. And she's still allegedly having that three-way conversation until 6:30. So here's the other thing. There'd be 6:20, 15, well, not 15 minutes, at least 10 minutes of not only dash cam, but there should be 10 minutes of audio of that three-way call, right? If that was going on. But I have not heard a single thing about that dash cam being on. Not saying it wasn't, but I have not heard a single thing. And if that thing was not running that morning, I'd be like, what? Again, just add it on to the hundreds of red flags in this case, right? Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate that. It's so crazy because, again, I was just trying to zoom in to find the dash cam, and then that's when I'm like, oh, shit, she's putting in a damn earpiece. That's weird. Corrupted Graphics, thank you so much from Ohio. Thank you so much for the $5. Right. I mean, they say they only have audio of him going home, but again, I don't know. I mean, there's still a theory that there could have been a trade-off before she got back, right? I do think he made it back, and I think that something happened in the middle of the night, but again, I would not be surprised if there was some kind of switch before he got home that night as well. She's been absolutely silent. Yeah, she cleared the 3 minutes flat. She even said 1 minute before she's like on the phone with Chris. But yeah, 3 minutes flat. Right, Lakeside. Yeah. Yeah, I think they had a plan and then probably didn't think about like the logistics of like, well, gosh, maybe I should be out, shouting my son's name, just as if you were, again, anybody lost their animal, be running out screaming with their head cut off. I would, obviously. We've all probably been there. Anybody that's had an animal, or especially a cat, cats, especially indoor cats who all of a sudden decide to want to become an outdoor cat and you're freaking out. That's the worst because, especially if they're indoor cats. But yeah, wait, what? I want to hear the non-911 call. Yeah, just saying. And that's why I brought this up. This is the reason I started the videos, because I wanted to bring that to the attention, is that I know part of that call started in the home, but she clearly states, both of them do, that they were on the phone together till at like 6:30. So at least 10 minutes of that call should be on that dash cam audio if it was going. I agree, Kaz Smith. I agree. I also think it could have been scouting as well for surveillance. I do agree, because then I think, if you think about what Fishstick says and everything, how he tried to first say it was a DoorDash delivery driver, then he went to a construction worker, and then he went to, just somebody that's familiar with the neighborhood, maybe dropping somebody off. I think all those ideas, or I think some of those, literally came from, obviously, his clients. So I totally agree. And so that would make sense. You would probably want to show up the next, again, they're probably, planning this out and probably thinking, maybe we should have that same car show up again to make it look like it is, just some DoorDash delivery person. But, it makes no goddamn sense. Why is this person driving all the way up to make a U-turn? Right, when they could have made a U-turn, especially if it's a DoorDash driver, because they're in a hurry. They're not gonna waste a whole minute driving up an entire neighborhood when they could turn around in all these different driveways. Sorry, guys, I am trying to get to chat more than I usually do. If you guys missed it, one more time. I'm curious to check the comments because I know I can't get to everybody. But I'm still suspicious of the Green Hood lady. I think there could have been an exchange. I think she was probably given a burner phone if there was an exchange. They both have hoodies with these high pockets, right? I mean, most hoodies obviously have high pockets, but I think she could have just slipped something into Katie's upper hoodie pocket. And right there, and I'll zoom in. This is just for anybody that missed it earlier. Right there, and I replayed a couple times. You could clearly see her putting some kind of earbud in. And again, it just begs the question, why would she need to do that? we all have, speaker mode. I don't know, or Bluetooth, right? If she gets a call, I don't know why she would need to have a private conversation. I'm just trying to get to chat. Oh, yeah, so many. Cutie Pie, I agree. So many unanswered. Just making sure I've got everybody so far. And yeah, thank you to everybody that's hit the like button. And so there it is. Again, just for anybody that missed it earlier, that is clearly somebody putting their an earpiece in, wired or Bluetooth. Could be either or. So that begs the question, who's she speaking with, for a 10-minute drive, which she clearly didn't mention, talking to anybody. She only mentions that she went to Texas Roadhouse, they ate, comes home, takes out the trash. He plays for an hour, goes to bed. She hears a thud. Hour later, she goes to bed at midnight, and that's it. But yeah, I kind of point towards this because this would only have audio inside the car, so I do wonder if that is the reason she's having a headpiece, is because since this is going to be recording, is she trying to have a private conversation without that whoever would listen to that know who's she's talking to, or if she's just receiving instructions or whatever. Nero says the interview she gave with CP, she says she was driving to the school. Oh, yeah. He was already realized she changed the conversation. Yeah. There's so many slip-ups. Yeah, Ashton, I think we have most of the footage of them in there. I can't remember if all of it's been released. I think, because I know I stitched everything together, what was released, and this is before everything was released, and I think there's maybe, I could be wrong. Let me know in chat. I think we're still missing a few bits from inside. But I think we have most of inside. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is because of your question. From what I noticed, because obviously I looked at the footage when it was released, it looked like she only did that one time, but I could be wrong. But yeah, it is kind of weird with her looking, but they claim that she's looking for the waitress or waiter. Looked like she was pressing buttons on the dash cam. I don't think she would need to. So Rob C, from what I understand, is that particular dash cam when you they're set up. Well, they're set up two different ways. There's one way where you can set it up to your cigarette lighter, and there's another where you have to kind of more kind of have electronic. Someone that's knows wiring, where you can hook it up to a lead, or possibly USB. I don't know. Maybe they even have USB where you could just probably, assuming they would have USB. But I know they have the car lighter one. And anyway, I'm sorry. I was trying to answer your question. It should just, as soon as she turns on, so she wouldn't have to touch anything. And I did. That was the other thing. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because I did try to look to see if she moved over here, because I know there are little buttons on the side, as you can see on the one example. And I don't ever see her hand go near this. It does look like she does touch the rear mirror. Actually, no, I don't even think she does that. Because I thought she was touching the rear mirror, but that was actually when she was putting it in the headset. Let me look at this one more time. So she looks down. Again, this is where after I think she pulls out whatever, it could be her phone or the burn phone, puts an earpiece. That's her right hand. She puts her hand back down. And then I think she just puts it in drive after that. Head still down. Heads up. No, she's driving. No. Yeah, so no, she doesn't touch the rearview mirror. She doesn't touch the dash cam. I think it would be very obvious because the dash cam's kind of on the more towards the passenger side. So I think she'd be kind of like reaching over, right? Voice activate? The dash cam? I don't. Again, I don't have a dash cam. I looked it up. Again, I'm not an expert on dash cams. I just know the basic principles of them. It wouldn't surprise me if they have that, but I think the average one is it starts recording when you turn it on the vehicle. Can you look up the model car like you're going to buy one and look at the specs inside the 360 view? The only problem, and thank you, Alicia. Alicia. The only problem with that is you got to remember vehicles have like a normal, like the stock model, and then you can have upgrades, right? So it's, we could look at one. I guarantee this car's got a Bluetooth. Guaranteed. Even my basic, I think I've just got the basic model. It might have one upgrade. I mean, my 2012 Toyota RAV4 Bluetooth. Yeah. And I'm sure they got the upgraded version. So that's the only reason we could look it up, but I'm pretty sure, again, you got to remember there's upgrades, right? Different packages that you could get, so we wouldn't know for sure. Kiki says, I have an opinion. Why does she even need a dash cam? That's a good question. I don't know. Do they have a exterior camera? I mean, is it just for parking? No. Does it actually? Does it record? I think I know what you're trying. I think I know what you're trying to say, Kiki. But does it actually have a camera that's recording? I know they have cameras on them, right, for parking, for you to, back up and park. But I don't know. I could be misinterpreting what you're saying. But thank you, Kiki, for the $4.99. My old 2012 Nissan. I'm assuming 2012. I don't think 2002 because I don't even think. We even had we had cell phones, but I don't think it was till 2003 Nokia started coming out. Yeah, I think but you solved the problem equal no problem. Solve problem equal no problem. Unless I'm misinterpreting that. Think you need to know. I'm assuming you're saying I bet you could solve problem equal no problem. I'm hoping I got that correct. I'm trying my best, guys. I mean, I am. I even had more for this live, but I think we've kind of gone much longer than I wanted to, at least for now. Of course, I'll have more, and I'm trying to cover other things as well. So be on the lookout for that. And I've got a video for old fish sticks as well that I'm working on that you guys are going to love. It's not going to be a live. It's going to be a short video, obviously. So if you're part of my Facebook group, you'll be notified as well. If you're obviously subscribed and you're got your notifications turned on, you'll get notified for lives and any videos I put out. One last thing before we leave. Why didn't I play this part?
Side. Again, I told you that was confirmed. The whole driving around outside was confirmed by somebody who definitely knows the facts. Katie told Seth when she woke up Monday morning, he wasn't in his room. When Seth was off work, he had missed calls and texts from Chris. If he came out of his room to exit the home, there would be somebody that has bipolar disorder, but oh, thank you, Cindy. You're sweet. But I'm just trying to make sense. Does this add up? Does this not make of those lights, though? Giving him that, I guess, authority. That's very surprising to me.
This is Sweetie Pie Love.
The lights are extremely important. Yes, Brenda. The light confusing, Jam. Very. Let me see if there's
Oh, yes. Okay. So again, this video is so important. I'll try to get the link to it. It's her, I think it was her first video, maybe second video she ever did on Sebastian. I think it's the first live she did on Sebastian. I'm pretty sure of that. It's got 70K views. It's so huge because it's the neighbor literally across the street from the Stink Feet, right? And clearly this was her contact in the beginning. And this video was put out, this live was done on March 21st, right? So 3 weeks into his missing. She clearly talked to this neighbor, Sweetie Pilo. And, all the things she said long time ago, all the timestamps were right on. Here's another thing she mentioned I forgot.
Some more important.
And you can hear the page turn. Again, if I had the video up, you can see her looking at her notepad.
Stuff here. So okay, this is weird. Supposedly, there are cameras inside of their home. Okay, that's what I heard anyway. But then there's no further explanation. If there's cameras in the home, then why don't we know what happened to Sebastian? It'd be real fish flavored if those got disconnected, right? Kind of like in the...
So there's the neighbor even confirming. And again, I'm sure probably a lot of you have heard this. And I forgot I always forget about this part. There's so much more in this video because this is... I always focus on the first part of this live because that's where she's doing the times of everything that the neighbor saw. But there's some very interesting stuff throughout the entire live. But here she's saying, yeah, and this is coming from the neighbor. Keep that in mind.
Let's see if there's some more
one more time.
Important stuff here. So okay, this is weird. Supposedly there are cameras inside of their home.
Remember, this is a neighbor. That was quite interactive with the Stink Feet. And so the story goes is they got an upgrade and stuff got installed just before their upgrade happened. What are the odds? I mean, again, we just keep stacking the red flags. And I know we've talked about, the camera hasn't mentioned it before, but I just wanted to play her because that's her referencing, an actual contact, which is, and just to let you guys know, I think it's very interesting that this neighbor now, and I would love to speak to Sweetie Pilo because I'm sure, privately to ask her, because it's very clear, not long after this live, maybe within a month or less, that neighbor now ended up being on the Proudfoot side, right? Where at the beginning, she was just kind of like, just trying to help and, speaking with Sweetie Pilo. But I think, in my opinion, that neighbor got turned by the Stink Feet early on because I think they knew how damaging, not only did she have footage of their front yard and had some very important footage, but just because of what she knew as well. So I think those Stink Feet, switched him because even my sources, the neighborhood was pretty tight knit, right? And then after the whole Sebastian thing, and then as a few months went in, everything kind of, there was, a divide in the alliance, right? So I think that this is my theory. I think the stink feet got to her because I know she is now complete 180'd. So I would love to know, speak to Sweetie Pilo and ask her, like, yeah, did you, clearly you were speaking to her. Was there, a time in the near future after she did this live on March 21st where all of a sudden she goes to call this, source and, it's like either she talked to her again or this person just, disconnected, But yeah. Yep, something like that. I would not be surprised. Something like that. I don't know if threatened, but, again, this neighbor knew a lot and saw a lot. So, I don't know. But we got so much more I will be doing on this. Oh, my God. I've got an entire separate thing, like I said, for stink feet. Not stink feet. The fish sticks guy that I'm working on. This guy right here. I cannot wait for you guys to see this video. It will certainly get his attention again. So I can't wait because I want these people to know that we are not going to give up on Sebastian. It's very clear there's one side that's looking and the other side that is just doesn't give a two shits about him. Pardon my French. But, it wouldn't hurt to spread some flyers, right? Or share his name. I'm speaking to a certain group, but there it is. If you'd like to share it, there's the QR code. Of course, you want to keep his name out there. Can you guys believe it? We are coming up on the 6 month, the 1.5 year anniversary. I know that kind of sounds stupid now saying it out loud, but the reason I mention that is because if you guys remember on the 6 month mark, right, the half year point a year ago is when the FBI put out the $50,000 reward that is still out there. Obviously, Dog's team has their reward as well, but so keep that in mind. Yeah, I agree. All right, guys, I will end it there. Thank you guys so much for the love and support, and to those that could donate. If you did donate via Venmo or PayPal, sometimes I get notified, sometimes I don't. But Melissa, thank you so much. I did get yours. God bless you. And yes, we'll do some pets. We'll try to get them. I'll be honest, guys. I missed some days. My stomach was acting up, so I was out for a couple of days. So I do apologize. I wanted to do a members live as well. Hopefully we'll try to get one in within the next few days. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think we're already, it's not 2-year anniversary, but we're already at 1.5 years. It feels like we just hit the anniversary like a month ago. It's so weird. It's so crazy. Scary. But we'll keep fighting. Thank you, Sassy. I tried to get as much comments as I could. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that as quotes, right? I don't want to get, but I'm sure they had, some conversations, right? Maybe buttered the neighbors up, right? Be like, maybe not threatened, but buttering them up. But yeah, I could see it both ways, knowing Crispy. So just email me. Keep in mind, I get a lot of emails if you can't put pet in the subject line. This is just for the members. But we'll do a pet outro, and then we'll try to add on to those in our next members live, which I will try to do Tuesday. I got a video I got to put out tomorrow. So we'll try to have a members live Tuesday or Wednesday. And then try to get back on the Sundays. All right, guys. Much love. Thank you guys again so much for love and support. Thank you, Jen and Dee. God bless you, ladies. And with that, we will see you guys. I don't know if I'll go live tomorrow, but video for sure. And then most likely live Tuesday. All right, guys, we will see you. I'm trying to find it. Where is it? There it is. All right, guys, much love. Have a great week. Hush.
Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption.